Hey everybody. Well, this isn't everybody. This is the small section of the potential viewership. My thoughts, my preoccupations have all been intensely personal recently, which doesn't make for good general audience, videos. It's been weeks since I got COVID. I still have a cough. This is very obnoxious. Um, and back on the mountain, it hasn't been cold, so we haven't been making snow. Now, what does a snowmaker do when the temperatures aren't there to make snow? Well, there's all kinds of shit. Typically, it involves shovels, digging out leaking hydrants and replacing them, and it's physical labor, but it's not as intense as actual snowmaking. Actual snowmaking, it's it is very intense. It is hard work. And typically when we've got the temperatures, we go to the 12 and a half hour shifts. So right now we're just on 8-hour shifts, and it is difficult. It is difficult, and I don't think that I'm quite up to it. I've noticed that sometimes on the mountain, even if I just like bend over to tie my shoe or something, and then I stand up, I get that panicky sensation of, oh, too much CO2. We can't detect a lack of oxygen. We can detect overabundance of CO2 in our bloodstream, and it causes panic. And I'll get that panicky sensation, and I have to take 3 quick, deep breaths. And this is typically when I haven't been doing anything. And then other times I will be working pretty hard. I'll be getting sweaty under all my layers, and I don't have to do that. So it's weird when it kicks in. But clearly, my lungs are not what they were just a few weeks ago, which is weird because in terms of my muscles and my joints, I feel like I'm getting in good shape doing this job, and I'm taking a lot of steps every single day. Um, and yet I'm unhealthy, and I don't feel like I'm getting in shape. I feel like I'm in much worse shape than I was when I got on the Greyhound bus to come here. And I can't say that it's exhaustion. I can't say that it's too much work, because I've had a fair amount of rest with COVID, and then my relapse on the job, and then we had a day off for Thanksgiving. So I worked 2 days, and then had a day off. I worked yesterday. I'm going to work today, and then I'll have 2 more days off. So I'm getting enough rest. But then we've got a storm coming, and it's going to be hard. But I say this isn't for the general public. Since the breakup, I have been very focused on, I hate the phrase, but self-improvement. So I had let my meditation practice lapse because I didn't have any privacy. Well, now I come out here to the rocks by the water every single day. Here, I'll show you where I am. Every single day. Make sure I get in that headspace meditation. And I'm studying Spanish every single day, because when this thing is all over, and I'm probably going to have to leave a little early because I got to go home, got to go to Arkansas and do my taxes before the deadline in mid-April, and ski season might still be ongoing at that time, but I'm going to have to leave anyway. Gonna buy a car. I got on Facebook today. I rejoined. I tried rejoining last week so I could access Marketplace using my traditional email address, and I was told that it was a bad person's address and it could never be used again. So I opened a Proton Mail account and signed up with that, and I was on Marketplace, and the very first message that I sent about a car that I'm looking at, Facebook flagged it and suspended me. First message. First use of Facebook, and I'm suspended. I have no idea what it was about this very short message that prompted them, but they just wanted my phone number, I guess, because I gave my phone number, they sent me a text, and I put in a code, and I was back. But I'm not going to use it for anything but Marketplace. I'm regularly tempted to I know that the Friends of the C-ROM group still exists on Facebook, and it had like 1,500 people on it when I got kicked off. But I think it's gone to seed. I don't think it's actively being used, and I've considered from time to time getting back on there to re-engage with that audience, but not right now. Not while I'm snowmaking. I'll do that when I'm doing more podcasts and there's more to advertise, as it were. But Facebook was a big time suck and a soul suck, and I'm not going to give it the access to my mind that it once had. So yeah, going to Tepoztlan. And Mike, if you want to step out of the shadows and make comments, you won't be able to because Mike, the person who's going to be my host, he only views the publicly available YouTube video. So maybe I will make this one publicly available. And Mike, if you want to step out of the shadows and into the comments and say why you're excited about me coming there and what we plan to do, I'm all for it. Mike said he's going to make some videos about the place before my arrival and send them to me or post them on YouTube. If he sends them to me, I will post them here if he gives me his permission. And if he posts them on YouTube, then I'll be linking to his videos and commenting on them in my Patreon. And I'll do that, unless there's something super juicy, that'll all be publicly available even on Patreon. So yeah, I'm about to get back into my Spanish lessons. I don't remember the exact name of the course, but it's like story learning or something like that. And it's a very interesting and I think probably practical means of learning a new language. It is not coursework. It is not traditional study. It's telling stories. It's actually an ongoing story with a new chapter, in each lesson. And it just kind of throws you into the deep end. And, you listen to the story being read, then you read the story in Spanish, and you comb through it and pick out cognates, which are words that seem to do a similar job in both languages, and then eventually read the English translation. But getting lots and lots of exposure to the Spanish, and it's simple, but it's not textbook stupid simple. It's not a grind. The idea is to use your intelligence and your pre-existing knowledge to help you ferret out the patterns and the meanings and things in Spanish, with Spanish vocabulary that hasn't been introduced to you, with Spanish grammar that hasn't been explicitly introduced either. It's a very intuitive approach. I'll link to it. Maybe I can find some sort of affiliate link, but I probably won't bother. But the same guy, this Ollie guy, who put this course together, he speaks like 8 languages, and this is the method that he pioneered to learn all these languages. And he's also got a kind of a turnkey business thing where he wants to get his students to start teaching English online. And Rose, my Filipino girlfriend of 2 years, she taught English online, and it was very abusive. Her clients were Chinese, and they were really, just very pushy and always, wanting more for their money and expecting her to, to be at their beck and call, to be ready to teach when they need her to teach, and to if they don't want to pay for an hour, if they want to pay for 50 minutes, she's got to take this unscheduled, or it's scheduled, I guess, but 10-minute break. It was just nasty. They treated her badly. And I think part of Ollie's approach is establishing yourself as, uniquely credentialed. Not credentialed, not with, letters after your name, not with a degree or, some sort of certification, but uniquely qualified to teach a particular style of English to a particular type of client. And, I'm a broadcaster. I have a professionally trained voice. I've interviewed hundreds of people. I've taught English before. Like some of the early, like this guy's a master of marketing. If you get on any of his lists, he's sending you stuff every single day. And one of the first few messages about his program for teaching English online, he's trying to overcome this mindset of, I'm not qualified, I could never do it. I've done it before, not online, but in person. I've taught English as a second language in Japan. I've taught college courses in philosophy. I have no anxiety whatsoever about teaching. I have no false modesty or no, what's the phrase I'm looking for? Imposter syndrome. I don't have that. I know I could teach English. It's just a matter of getting organized and finding clients who would pay me enough for it to be worth my while. And I might do that. And that's something that I could do as a digital nomad. Although, I'm not necessarily looking to be a digital nomad. Maybe I just want to find a nice place in Mexico and hang out there for a good long time. I don't know. But I've found that illustration is not good for for mobile living and work. My Cintiq is this huge thing, and I've tried drawing on smaller screens. Like I've tried drawing on the iPad screen. It's just too small. I can't. I'm not going to. I'm not going to be using that interface to try to make money with illustration. Um, if I find a place that I'm going to be in for a while, then I will have my Cintiq sent to me. Um, but it's a huge, huge thing. It's simply not portable. It is not a portable device. It's not even nomadic, like a laptop. Um, I really need to get to a point where I've got my Surface Pro, I've got my phone, and a microphone, and that's what I'll be using to make my living. Although I'm thinking I might be coming back. At one point, I said to Casey in a private message that this job on the mountain has taught me that this is my last hurrah with physical labor. I'm past this in my life. Um, I don't know. I'm not so sure about that. I might be coming back here next year to do more snowmaking, and there is the opportunity to go to Australia and be a snowmaker. Now, what a weird position that would be for me. I mean, I used to live in Australia. I'd love to go back. To go back as a snowmaker, there's just a kind of an absurdity to it that is very appealing to me. And if I'm that side of the world, I'll stop into the Philippines and say hey. I now have two ex-girlfriends whom I have never touched, never kissed, never shaken hands with, never touched. That fucking sucks. And I absolutely there will not be a third. Any long distance relationship from now on will be the maintenance for a relationship that started in person. But no more of this long distance relationship from the jump stuff. Fuck that. It is not good for me. And I realize I kind of developed over the past couple of years a bit of a WhatsApp addiction. Yeah, I won't go further with that in this video. That would definitely have to be behind the paywall. And because I want Mike to be a participant here, I'm going to put this out in public for 100 people to look at, or maybe 150. Depends on the title. Anyway, 150 good folks who tune in and watch these things, and the far fewer who watch them to the very end. Thank you so much. It is good to have you to talk to. I don't make money from this. I make $100 every couple of years. you know. But it's good to have you to talk to. So I will talk to you more.